Hey guys, welcome back for another video. Today I'm doing another look with the ColourPop Winx Club palette. I used a couple of other palettes too along with this one. I used the Huda Beauty New Nude palette, and I used one shade from this Ace Beauty Oceanic palette. So I'm just starting out with this Australian Gold tinted face sunscreen just as a base. I did put 2 layers of this on and I just blended it out with my fingers. And then I went over that with the NYX Bear With Me Blur Skin Tint Foundation. So this one has a pretty strong medium coverage. I don't feel like I had to build it up a whole lot to get like a really nicely evened out complexion. And I feel like it is pretty blurring, mostly when my skin's in good condition. On this day, my skin was kind of a little bit more dehydrated, not looking the best, but overall I still think that it looks pretty good once it's all blended out. And just for some color correction, I'm using an old product that's discontinued. This is the Benefit Erase Paste. It's just a very moisturizing, peachy corrector. And then I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Light Concealer. This is another hydrating product, but it's only like a medium coverage, so it helps to do a couple layers or use a corrector along with it. But I really like how moisturizing it is and how nice it looks on the skin. And then here is the Too Faced Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This is also pretty hydrating, but it has a lot more coverage, so I like using it as a spot concealer. It also works well under the eyes, but it's just much heavier coverage, so sometimes it doesn't match the foundation I'm using. And then here I'm using an old Viseart brow palette. I'm using a tinted wax or a cream shade all throughout the brows. I did use the deepest powder matte also just to fill in just a few little sparse areas. And this is one of my favorite powders I've been using for many years. This is the Soap and Glory One Heck of a Blot powder. It's very thin, very mattifying, never looks cakey. I can touch up a lot of times during the day and it still looks good. Then I'm just curling my lashes here. This is the ColourPop Party Proof Eyeshadow Primer. I've been using this for a while now. It's kind of become a go-to favorite. It's not an all-time favorite, but it's a pretty good one. And here is the Huda Beauty New Nude palette. I'm just using the lightest matte on the inner corner and the brow bone. Not always necessary to do this, but I just always like doing this step. It just kind of helps me start when I don't know what to do. And then I'm using the ColourPop Winx Club. I'm going into this bright matte yellow. It is a matte with sparkle, but I don't feel like the sparkles show up very much. There's not much fallout from them, and they don't really show very well once it's on the eye. And going back into the new Nude palette, I'm using this matte lavender, kind of just below that yellow, above the crease. It's more of a transition shade for the next shade that I'm going to go in with. And I'm just using the next deeper matte purple lower down on the lid. I did start out using kind of like just a regular shader brush, but I wasn't really liking how it was going on. So then I later went in with a pencil brush to kind of fill in some areas that I was having a hard time reaching with that other brush. Going back into the ColourPop palette, here is this, it's like a shimmery periwinkle. This was the one shade I really wanted to use today. So it's got a lot of larger sparkles and some more fine shimmer. I did have kind of a lot of fallout. You may or may not be able to see it there. It wasn't terrible, but it did require some cleaning. I have had worse fallouts from sparkly shades. At this point, I realized I didn't like how harsh the yellow was looking. I never really did blend it in, so I just went in with a couple different brushes and blended the purple up into it and then blended the yellow up into the brow bone area. I kind of want like a matte shade that's similar to that. So here's the shade. The one I used in this palette was this one. And I kind of want a matte shade that's like that. So one that I just happen to have right here is this Ace Beautē palette. And one that's similar is this, let's see, which side is it? The one on my right side in the middle row is kind of similar. So I'm going to use that one. So I just use this shade mostly on the center part of the lower lash line. It shows up pretty good, but I felt like it was kind of easy to dust away. And then I decided to use that same dark purple again on the lower lash line. So I'm kind of connecting the upper part of the lid with the outer lower lash line. And I'm just kind of blending that carefully with a pencil brush. Okay, and then I'm just going to use this shimmery shade. This is, it looks like a white, but it's got a strong blue sheen to it. It's probably not the best idea to use it next to this blue because you probably won't be able to tell them apart, but we'll see. Oh, this one actually seems like a cream. Hold on a second. It's kind of squishy in the pan. Huh. Well, that's good. Very little fallout, almost no fallout. That's nice. And then just for the heck of it, I'm going to use this one again. This one didn't adhere well before, but I'll try it again. So I thought this shade worked a lot better the second time that I used it this way. Usually I find shimmers work nicely with this brush. This is kind of a thick eyeliner brush. And I'm using the same one to go in with this more sparkly pink shade on the outer part of the lower lash line. I don't know what blush to use, so I'm just going to use this one. This is the Too Faced Candy Cloud, or no, sorry, Too Faced Cloud Crush Blush in Velvet Crush. This, I think, is the most neutral of the shades they have. I'm going to use this, my go-to eyeliner. This is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Boundless Bisque. I like to use this on the waterline. So I'm just getting ready to finish up this look, and I'm using Benefit Roller Lash on my upper lashes. This has been another favorite product for several years now. I bought many of these. And then I'm using a newer one to me on the lower lash line. This is the Winky Luxe Detail Oriented Mascara. Been really enjoying this just to help the lower lashes stand out a little bit more. And I'm just going to put in some photos here at the end showing this from some different angles, so hopefully you can see it better than what is visible in the video. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one.